So, Final Fantasy has been making some serious waves for a while now. With the game dethroning World of Warcraft, saying it's popular would be an understatement. Mass amounts of people are leaving WoW for this game, and there are countless people praising it here on YouTube, with insert number of years here, WoW veteran, plays Final Fantasy XIV being its own video format. Now, I played WoW in early 2020 during the beginning of the pandemic, dipping my toe into both Classic and Retail, joining a rather large and active guild in Retail where the leader helped me and a friend get set up. I enjoyed the game while I played, but I fell off probably about 40 to 50 hours in if I remember correctly. I love the style of game. The MMO has always intrigued me, from Pirates 101 when I was a little kid, paywalling me harder than an EA-sponsored building project, to the wonderful world of loot hunting in Destiny 2, but I could never find that magical game of my dreams. Now, I must admit, I have committed the sin of loving Sword Art Online unironically. The first season was my first anime, and 12-year-old me was mesmerized, and it sparked a hunt for a game that would give me that same feeling of watching that first season for the first time. And I tried tons of games over the years, with the most sparking that feeling actually being a Roblox game inspired by the show, which was actually quite well done if I'm honest. All that aside, I gave up on finding that magic game, but recently a friend asked me to join them in playing Final Fantasy. Zaya from the Taleforge, she's wonderful. I'll link her channel in the description. She's one of the best narrators on this channel and deserves some love. This isn't that perfect magical game, but it's close and has evoked that feeling I was on the hunt for so long, and it's close as I think I'll ever get. I actually streamed my first 2 hours of going totally blind here on the channel, playing with the character creator and doing the first few quests and just experiencing the game. After that stream, I made a different character that would eventually become my main, and I dove headfirst into practically no-lifing the game, and I've loved every minute. Even the parts I didn't enjoy particularly, the part of the main story with the sylphs, or cabbage fairies as I like to call them, felt way too tedious and boring, but I was still enjoying the game, just trying to get past a tedious quest inside it. Now, as of the making of this video, I'm technically not even finished with A Realm Reborn. I've completed the main story and seen the credits roll, but I'm doing the post-game stuff that needs to be done before I can start Heavensward, and it's taken me easily over 100 hours to get there, and that's with a favored server XP boost and a fairly linear path of just doing the MSQ, job quest, and a brief stop to try fishing, which I got to level 50 along the way. But the main game packs so much game time, and that was all things you can do in the trial. So, future no one here, and while working on this video, I went and actually finished A Realm Reborn. There are 2 credit scenes as it turns out, and it turns out I was maybe 2/3 through. And I played the final arc involving Ishgard and the climax at Uldaw, and I just had to add my thoughts before publishing this video. The final hour of A Realm Reborn, which is mostly cutscenes, is incredible. I'm at a loss for words to try and describe it. I'm recording this right after watching the credits for it, and yes, I watched them all just in a daze, processing the game I just experienced. I'll just say here, the entire game is worth playing, if only for the ending of the base game, in my opinion. It's absolutely amazing. I am just awestruck by it. Also got this new glam from it, so that's a thing, I suppose. Anyway, back to past me while I go contemplate this. So at this point, I feel it's a good time to talk about how I feel about this game, as I'm right on the cusp of when the game gets good according to community, and I gotta say, if this wasn't the good part already, I'm excited. The main quest was enjoyable. It was slow paced, but that slow pacing was perfect for learning the game. It gave me extra time to learn the mechanics and understand how the game would work at later levels. That being said, please balance the XP system in A Realm Reborn. I was so over-leveled for the main story quest it was annoying, as the game would scale my level down, which meant I couldn't use the abilities I'd already unlocked, and those encounters felt even slower and annoying, as I knew it would be more fun if I had my new abilities, or if I had been able to do this quest before I got them. It's my only real complaint from my experience, which really does say a lot. The questing itself aside, the story was amazing. The writing at play here is A tier, and way better than any other MMO has ever even tried. I can really see why people say that Final Fantasy XIV is an RPG first and an MMO second. This game was lovingly crafted. The story also used that slow pacing incredibly. I don't feel like I'm the chosen one who came off the street and was promoted to general 2 days later. Preston Garvey. I felt connected with the main cast by the end, and like I've worked with them forever and I'm attached to them. There's a moment in the story that I won't spoil, but about halfway through something happens that had me screaming as it caught me completely off guard and changed the storyline. That moment was when I really got into the game and started paying full attention as the story had ramped up and it was brutal. I'll just say this, the story doesn't pull punches when it doesn't want to. There's also a pretty neat twist at the end that I personally figured out but was still really good. But when the credits rolled, I felt satisfied and accomplished. The MSQ is long and a bit tedious, but it's well worth it. With the MSQ covered, I want to touch on a few other things that I feel should be mentioned. Dungeons. The dungeons are all stunning with strong themes. Early in the game, you do a number of low-level dungeons that get hard modes at the base endgame where they are changed to be fresh but build on the story the last. One that really stood out to me was the dungeon tied to the level 50 quest Corpse Groom. In this dungeon, the first time you enter, you are the second group to run it, and you meet the first group who failed, including a character who lost her fiancé in the run, which is a very sad and real moment, showing that adventuring isn't always glamorous and isn't for everyone. At level 50, you return and find that same character invoking dark magic to resurrect her lost lover, and upon defeating her resurrected and monsterized groom in a spectacular fight, she loses it and ends up falling to her death and burning on the way down, only to perform a bloody jump scare as a ghost afterward. This quest was amazing, as one I nearly missed and did on a whim, only needing XP. Side jobs are an MMO staple in the franchise. Non-combat jobs to create or gather items, and FF14 doesn't disappoint. I did fishing and loved the mechanics in the job questline, though this last quest I have yet to complete as this damn fish seems impossible to catch. I've had it on my line 3 times already and it always gets away. The glamour. In Final Fantasy XIV, something you will hear often is glamour is the endgame, as the game is full of different armors and different styles, and building a unique look is tons of fun. I don't have access to much at this point and just stick to my current set's aesthetic with some dye, but I've seen some awesome glams and I'm really excited to explore them when I reach the true endgame. All in all, this game feels incredible, and I don't foresee myself playing my fill and moving on like many others. I feel like I have a very long and wonderful experience ahead of me in the game, and if you think the game looks fun, it has one of the greatest free trials I've ever seen, and you can experience everything I've talked about in this video without spending a cent. So do go check it out. I'm even working on a story-based playthrough of the game, which I hope to have the first episode out soon. And if you watched to this point, I would like to sincerely thank you, because it means the world to me. Anyways, have a good morning, evening, day, or night, and always remember, no one loves you.